Hello, in this video I'm going to be giving you a brief overview of the SNEED-JET Titan T6 handheld printer. So we're just going to go over the basics and how it works, go through some of the menus just so that you know where they are, and then in other videos from here we'll go into more specifics on how to operate those menus and what to do. So the first thing I want to go over is with your handheld printer. You'll see we have a trigger here, so you're going to squeeze this trigger every time you print. And one of the most important things to remember is that each printer comes with this encoder attached to the side. In order to print, this encoder needs to be in motion. So squeezing the trigger alone is not enough. We're going to squeeze and roll the printer. Now right now I don't have a cartridge in, but I'm going to show you how that works. So the first thing you want to do, every time, especially if you're using a solvent-based ink cartridge, you want to clean your cartridge. So here I have a piece of HDP high-density foam and a lint-free cartridge cloth. We provide one of these with every cartridge that you purchase. However, we also sell them individually, so if you need more, feel free to contact our sales reps and they'll get you set up. So I've got a JS10 ink cartridge here, and before I go ahead and clean it, I just want to show you here, these are the voltage and pulse width settings. Each cartridge you purchase will have these on it. So you want to go ahead and make sure that the voltage and pulse width in your printer matches those settings. So I have a voltage of 8.7 here, a pulse width of 1.8. So I'm going to go ahead and take my printer and we'll press the settings button here, and then we'll go to system settings. In system settings, you'll see voltage and pulse width. Now, you see these are not the correct settings, so we're going to go ahead and change those. Now that I've done that, in order to clean your cartridge, it's very simple. You're going to take the cartridge, and you're going to put it face down into the pad here, and pull it this way. Now, 2 solid lines of ink are what we're looking for. This means that our cartridge is free of obstruction and it's going to print well. If these lines here are dotted lines, then more cleaning is necessary. In order to insert the cartridge, we're going to take it, and at a slight angle, 45 degrees or so, you'll push it all the way forward, then down, and take your thumb and pull this clip up. If this latch is giving you a lot of resistance, then your cartridge is not all the way forward and you will or most likely damage something. So make sure that you're not having to put too much pressure on this latch. So now that we've got that in, we can go ahead, and I'm just going to give you a brief overview of the menus first before we show the printing. Great. So we have our edit menu here, and this is where we're going to edit new messages. So you simply need to select edit single file in order to create any new messages. And you'll see in our next videos the more specifics on how to do this. We also had, you saw edit group file. So we can simply set more than one message to print on alternating trigger pulls. So if I slide message A over, now I don't have any other messages programmed in this printer as of right now, but we will later. And then say I had another message here, I'd slide it over. So on my first trigger pull, it's going to print default message. On my second trigger pull, it's going to print message B, and then cycle back to default message. Now to the settings menu. We've already shown the system settings menu. We'll do it again. You'll just see you have language selection here, time and date, voltage and pulse width, as well as brightness and sound. Now the printer makes a beep every time it's done printing. Some people may or may not want that sound, so you can turn that off there. So we'll press cancel and move on to the next settings menu, print settings. And this is where most of the setting changes are done. Now, the great thing about your handheld printer is this encoder measures the speed at which you're printing. So there is no need for you to use the speed setting, and almost never a need for you to use the interval setting, because that's just the delay from the time you pull the trigger to the time it starts printing. Well, since we're running a handheld printer, we can place it wherever we want without the need for that. Now, direction will allow you to print it X reverse, Y reverse, which is just printing it either maybe upside down or mirror the print. And you'll see those options right there. Great. Nozzle line. Every cartridge has 2 nozzles. You see these 2 lines here. You're only using one at a time. So if you're having trouble with one, you can make a switch to the other. This is also a good troubleshooting tool to see if you know you have some clogged nozzles or if you genuinely have an issue with a cartridge. The print width is what you're going to use instead of speed, so this will increase the size of your message. And grayscale is just simply grayscale. It puts more ink down. Moving on to the DPI tab, you have 4 options with this printer: 100, 150, 200, and 300. We're going to set it to 300 for sake of this video. And I know from experience that a print width of 12 is too high for that setting. So I'm going to go down to 6 in my print width. The Advanced tab will simply allow you to use the repeat print function or the reciprocating print function. So repeat print, you just select it and you'll tell it how many times you want it to repeat that. The repeat interval is the distance between each repeated print. So with a repeat print, if I set it to print 5 times, I only have to pull the trigger once and it's going to print 5 times. Now that we've done that, I'll just simply show you real quick printing. So you see it's verified our cartridge. And you can see from there we have a nice, crisp, high-resolution print. Thank you.